صلى الله عليه وسلم.
بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. أما بعد. When people sneeze, this is normal, whether it's Corona, Delta, Omicron, or who knows what comes next. May Allah Azza wa Jal preserve us and save us from all pandemics and diseases and conspiracy theories, as they say. So what to do? Sneezing is something that we hear so often. Upon sneezing, Hadith 188.
إذا عطس أحدكم فليقل الحمد لله وليقل له أخوه أو صاحبه يرحمك الله فإذا قال له يرحمك الله فليقل يهديكم الله ويصلح بالكم.
The Prophet says, alayhi salam, when one of you sneezes, he should say, Alhamdulillah, all praise is for Allah. So this is the norm. When you sneeze, you say Alhamdulillah. It doesn't stop here. The Prophet says, and his brother or companion or whoever hears him should say to him in reply, Yarhamukallah. May Allah have mercy upon you. So there's an exchange. Achoo, Alhamdulillah, Yarhamukumullah. It doesn't stop. I have to reply again to his invocation that Allah has mercy upon me by saying, the Prophet says, and he, that is the one who sneezed, replies back to him by saying, Yahdikumullah wa yuslih balakum. Wa yuslihu balakum. May Allah guide you and rectify your affairs or your condition. Whoa! This is only for sneezing. But look at the beautiful exchange of dua, beautiful words that come out of people's mouths. And this is when you sneeze. Once, or twice, or 3 times. And you say Alhamdulillah, and I do this, Yarhamukumullah, Yarhamukumullah, Yarhamukumullah. But if I sneeze for the 4th time, then others should stop saying Yarhamukallah, because after the 3rd times, this is flu. This is not something that is random. This is an illness and it's continuous. What to say? Afakallah or Shafakallah. May Allah cure you. That's it. And you don't have to say Yarhamukumullah over and over and over and over again. The following chapter 78, what is said to a kafir, a disbeliever, when he sneezes. So what's the difference? Well, if a disbeliever sneezes, we can't say Yarhamukumullah. Why is that? Because he's a disbeliever. We can't ask Allah to have mercy upon the disbelievers or to grant them Jannah. But we can ask Allah for anything that's good and beneficial for them in this world. And this is why we were taught that whenever a disbeliever sneezes, we say,
يهديكم الله ويصلح بالكم.
May Allah guide you and rectify your condition. This is something in the dunya. May Allah guide you. That's good. Rectify your condition. Grant you peace and tranquility in this dunya. Nobody hates this. Now the disbeliever cannot object and say, you're segregating, you're discriminating. Why don't you ask Allah Azza wa Jal to admit me to Jannah? Akhi, you don't believe in Jannah. You don't believe in Allah to begin with. I apologize for saying Akhi because this is rhetorical, but if you do, welcome to Islam, and I will pray to Allah Azza wa Jal to admit you to Jannah from now till the Day of Judgment. But if you're not a Muslim, you will not be admitted to Jannah, and this is a given. So you have to understand this. Chapter 79, supplication said to the newlywed. Oh, so I see someone who just got married, or I'm invited to a wedding and they're making the marriage contract. Is there something I should say? The answer is yes. Very beautiful dua.
بارك الله لك وبارك عليك وجمع بينكما في خير.
بارك الله لك وبارك عليك وجمع بينكما في خير. Very simple to memorize. May Allah bless for you, your spouse, and bless you personally. And may He unite both of you in goodness. And this is what every spouse needs. They need this dua so that Allah Azza wa Jal would combine them and unite between them in goodness and grant them good offspring and righteous offspring and healthy offspring as well. Chapter 80. The groom's supplication on the wedding night or when buying an animal. And I know that a lot of our sisters and daughters would feel discriminated. And they would say, hey, why did you combine us with animals? It's not how you think. This dua is said by a man who buys a ride or who buys a slave or who gets married. What does such a person need? He needs Allah's guidance. He needs Allah's protection. So what does he say? The dua in the hadith number 191.
إذا تزوج أحدكم امرأة أو إذا اشترى خادما فليقل: اللهم إني أسألك خيرها وخير ما جبلتها عليه، وأعوذ بك من شرها وشر ما جبلتها عليه. وإذا اشترى بعيرا فليأخذ بذروة سنامه وليكل مثل ذلك.
When you marry a woman or buy a slave, you should say, O Allah, I ask you for the goodness within her and the goodness that you have made her inclined towards. And I take refuge with you from the evil within her and the evil that you have made her inclined towards. What is wrong with such a dua? This is a beautiful dua, and the Prophet continues to say, alayhi salatu wassalam, and if you buy a camel, then you should take hold of its hump and say the same thing, the same dua. Nowadays, none of us is going to buy a camel, but we will buy a car. We will buy a motorcycle. So we should also put our hands on the bonnet or on the roof or on the steering wheel, whatever counts, and we say the same dua. For what? We need Allah's blessings over what we are buying. Whether it's a ride, whether it's a slave servant, or whether it's a wife. But this does not by any means compare a wife to a camel or to a ride or to a slave. This is something that we are acquiring and buying or having in our possession, and we are in deep need of Allah's guidance and protection. This is all the time we have. Until we meet next time, I leave you fi amanillah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.